Hello everyone. Today we are going to read the lesson of ninth standard Medieval India and Political Transactions. In this lesson we will cover the topics the Rajput dynasties. Like in this we will go for Solankis, Chauhan and Grahwalas, and next afterwards we will see the contribution of Rajput kings to literature, art and architecture. Afterwards we will see that the arrival of Turks. In this especially we have to concentrate on Mahmud Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. Lastly, we will see about the establishment of Delhi Sultanate. In this, we have to deal about the five dynasties: Slave, Khilji, Tughlaq, and Sayyid dynasty. And lastly, we will see about the administration and the contribution of Delhi Sultans to art and architecture. First, we will see about the introduction. The period between the second half of the 12th century and the first half of the 13th century is recognized as transitional period in the Indian history. Here the study of history is divided into three parts: ancient, medieval and modern. The period between 12th century to 13th century is called as transitional period. Transitional means the implementation of something new. It is called as transitional period. The Turks broke the political system of small kingdoms. They also established an empire which had a strong centralized power structure. Monotheism was expanded in the field of religion due to the influence of Islam. Before the study of the empire established by Turks, it is necessary to understand the multi-state political system of pre-Turks period. The rule of small kings. It is called as a multi-state political system. The study of multi-state political system can be started with the study of Rajput dynasties that ruled the western and the northern India from 9th century to 13th century. First we will see about the Rajput dynasties. In this also many dynasties are there: Gujaras, Brahmaras, Solankis, Chauhans. We will see one by one. After the rule of Vardhanas, most of the western and the northern India was ruled by Gurjara Pratiharas, Bundelkhand Chandelas, Grehwalas, Solankis, Brahmaras and many other Rajput dynasties. By the end of the 12th century, Rajput kings like Prithviraj Chauhan, Jayachandra Grehwala, Brahmadev Chandela were the powerful king of northern India. Here we have to see Bundelkhand is a mountain region in central and northern India. Next, first dynasty we have to deal with Gurjara Pratihara. The Pratiharas have claimed in many of their inscriptions that the Lakshmana of Ramayana period, a Kshatriya as the founding person of their family, but as per the available evidences, Nagabhatta is the founder of these dynasties. The Pratiharas ruled Sindh region by keeping Kannauj as their capital. Sindh region, it is a province or the state in Pakistan, and their capital was Kannauj. It is in Uttar Pradesh. They fought back the frequent Arab attacks. Mihara Bhoja and Mahindra Pala, the powerful ruler of this dynasty, had defeated the Palas of Bengal and has extended the Pratihara kingdom till Bengal. An Arab traveller named Suleiman has visited the court of Mihara Bhoja and has appreciated the kingdom as it had peace. Pratihara rule declined during the rule of Mahipala, who succeeded Mahindra Pala. This all things is about Gurjara Pratihara. The next it is Grehwalas. Chandradeva, the founder of this dynasty, ruled the northern India, keeping Varanasi as his capital. Again Varanasi is in Uttar Pradesh. Govinda Chandra is another important ruler of this dynasty. He extended his rule till Malwa and Magad by defeating Palas. Malwa it is in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan sharing states, and Magad it is in Bihar. He also defeated the kings of Kalinga and Odisha. The rulers of Kashmir, Gujarat and Chola had a cordial relationship with Govinda Chandra. After Grehwalas, the next dynasty is Brahmaras. Brahmaras came to prominence after the decline of Pratiharas. Upendra Chandra Krishna, the feudatory king of Rashtrakuta, founded this dynasty. Here we have to understand what is feudatory. Feudatory means a system based on the ownership of land. It is called as feudatory. Dharanga was their capital. Bhoja is the most popular king of Brahmara dynasty. He extended the Brahmara state by defeating Kalyani Chalukyas, Kalinga Gangas and the northern Konkans कौन से महाराष्ट्र? दो भोजा एक्सपीरियंस highs downs in political sphere, he remained undefeated in the area of literature. He himself was a poet, as a king who come after him were weak. The Pratiharas dynasty declined. After this Brahmaraj, next it is Solankis. Mola Raja first is the founder of this dynasty, though Bhima first is the most famous king from this dynasty. He could not protect the Somnath temple from Ghazni's invasions. After him, Mula Raja II and Viridhwawala were capable kings. Mula Raja II defeated Muhammad Ghazni near Mount Abu. During the rule of this dynasty, the famous Jain scholar Hema Chandra compiled a Prakrit dictionary. It is known as Desi Mala. Ulugh Khan and Nusrat Khan, the military general of Alauddin Khilji, defeated Kandradeva and made the kingdom of Solankis a part of Delhi Sultan. Next it is, like here Mount Abu, it is a hill station in Rajasthan, and Somnath temple is in Gujarat. Now next, Chandelas. Danga is the most famous king of Chandelas who prospers in Bundelkhand. Earlier I have said Bundelkhand, it is a state in Madhya Pradesh. In the beginning, Chandelas were feudatory kings of Pratiharas. After the decline of Brahmaras, Danga declared himself independent. He took hold of the eastern part of Brahmara's kingdom and extended his kingdom by defeating Palas. Danga, who had the title Maharaja Dhiraja, Kings of Kings, extended military assistance to Hindu Shahi kings Jayapala to fight back attacking Turks. Finally, due to the infighting and lack of unity among Rajputs, Khilji Sultan conquered this kingdom. Now next it is Chauhans. The Chauhan dynasty is the most prominent among the Rajputs. The root of this dynasty is visible during 17th century. The dynasty started its rule in the Ajmer region of Rajasthan. The rulers of this dynasty, Ajay Raja and Prithvi Raja III, made Chauhans the prominent rulers of the Western India during 12th century. Prithviraj Chauhan, known for his bravery, defeated the Chandelas of Bundelkhand and gaining the places Mahiba and Kalinjar. Kalinjar, it is in Madhya Pradesh. Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori at Tarrain. Ghori wanted to extend his Gaur kingdom towards Sindh region. Muhammad Ghori, who was severely wounded in the battle, led another attack towards Delhi in the following year. He defeated Prithviraj Chauhan at Tarrain, the very place of previous battle. Prithviraj is an prominent ruler and he is very much famous for his bravery. Here in these two battles has been fought between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. In first battle of Tarrain, it is a place in Karnal in Haryana. In the first battle, Prithviraj Chauhan was successful, whereas in second battle in 1192, second battle of Tarrain, Muhammad Ghori was successful. Next it is the contribution of Rajputs. The Rajputs who ruled during the last part of the ancient and the early part of the medieval period encouraged art, culture and religion. Rajput kings themselves were scholars. Kings like Bhoja, Manuja have written different literary works. Kings Manuja had poets like Padma Gupta and Halayuddha in his court. King Bhoja had extended his royal patronage to the Jain scholars. The poetic works like Jayadeva's Gita Govinda has been written by them, and afterwards Raja Tarangini, Jayanikas, Prithviraja's Vijaya and Hema Chandra's Kurumpala Charitra are the important works. Prithviraj Rausa by Chand Bradri and Bhoja Pradra by Balala are the noted biographies of Rajput rulers. Gujarati, Rajasthani and Hindi languages developed during this period. The educational institution of Nalanda, Kashi and Ujjain received support from the Rajputs. Here it is Nalanda, it is in Bihar, Kashi it is in Uttar Pradesh, as well as Ujjain is in Madhya Pradesh. The Rajput kings constructed spacious forts in Chittor, Mandun, Ranthambore, Jodhpur and Gwalior of northern India. Here we have to understand spacious means having much space. And the fort, what they have is constructed Chittor Fort, as well as Chittor Fort is in Madhya Pradesh, and Mandor Fort is in Madhya Pradesh, and Ranthambore Fort in Rajasthan, and Gwalior it is again Madhya Pradesh. They built palaces in Jaipur, Gwalior and Udaipur. Dilwara Temple, Vimala Temple and Lunavasi Temple were built on Mount Abu. Mount Abu it is in hill station in Rajasthan. All these are beautiful and known for the artistic architecture. The Chandelas built Kandadevra Temple in Karnoj. It is in Madhya Pradesh. Shiva and Vishnu temples were more in number among the temples built during their period. They also encouraged painting. The painting style of this period is classified as Rajasthani painting style. Rajasthani painting style can be seen in Mewar, in Bukaner, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, and the painting style can be seen in the states of Jammu and Garhwal. Like this, Rajput have a special place in the history of India. First, you have to see where the Rajasthani paintings are found in these places. Like Mewar, it is in Rajasthan. Bukaner also in Rajasthan. Jodhpur also is in Rajasthan. Mostly Rajputs are ruling from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh states. Whatever we are finding the contributions, we are finding on these places. Here we have completed the Rajputs, all the dynasties and their contribution to art and architecture. In our next video, we will see about the arrival of Turks. If you are having any doubts, you can ask us in the comment section. Thank you.